Lincoln, Alabama is the home of Talladega Super Speedway, and that's where the Super Speedway Cup Series is tonight. Here on ETV Live, I'm Clint Monahan, joined by Kyle Peddle with John Wessling and J.D. Webb. Kyle, what are some keys you think we're going to have tonight to make this a successful heat race?
Well, you're going to have to make sure that your friends stay your friends and you don't make many enemies out here. If you start making enemies, you're going to be hung out to dry and you're going to be going backwards in a hurry. And if you go backwards, then you ain't making that feature.
Now, in your experience driving here, what would say is the preferred line with these, even with the new release that we have in iRacing tonight?
Well, really, preferred line is you want to stick your car right on that yellow line, have a friend hooked up behind you as best as possible. And then when you start getting disconnected from each other, that's when trouble starts happening, and you'll get the second group of guys behind you, get your draft, and all of a sudden they'll go flying by on the outside. So, really, the bottom is the fastest way around, but no line safe here, and you're always got to make sure you're always hooked up.
Alright, well, the cars are taking the grid. We're going to go through the lineup. We are broadcasting the second heat race of 4 tonight, and after this we will also do the Trophy Dash and B main and of course the A main. But on the front row in the 73 car is Terrence Donovan, his DeWalt Ford Fusion, and to his outside in the number 20 Ford Fusion is Matt Bontempi.
Rolling off in third place, it's the number 23 car, that's Rod Flagg, and to his outside, Brandon Traburco.
Scott Fenstermacher in the Chevy Impala SS, number 27, starting 5th, and to his outside is Frank Basilia III.
Rolling off in the 7th position, that's Larry Camp, and rolling off 8th, Ivan Garcia.
And on the last row, starting 9th all by himself, is Kevin Balls Mahoney Jr.
It's going to be unfortunate. There's 9 drivers starting this race, so obviously somebody is going to get hung out to dry, and that's never a fun one if you're that driver.
Yeah, I was going to mention that to you. Really, it's not looking good for Kevin unless he gets something going with the 33 car. Somebody has to be left out, and the only way they can get back in is through Rex here. So somebody could be eliminated practically on the start.
And that's never a fun thing, especially when you're trying to make it into the Trophy Dash or even the B main or A main. So that's never fun if you get hung out to dry, and all of a sudden, next thing you know it, you're already putting it on the trailer even before your race day started.
Well, tonight is the debut of new weather here in the Super Speedway Cup Series. It's 76 degrees on a July night here at Talladega. Winds northeast 9 miles an hour. Humidity is 23%. As cars are in turn 3, they're lined up side by side. We're ready to go. Green flag coming up here in the Super Speedway Cup Series.
It's interesting now that iRacing has got their new weather model out, especially with relative humidity and all that stuff. It throws these guys for a curve. You always get realistic weather conditions for race day, and you never know what you're going to expect. Maybe you get the wind coming out of the north, and all of a sudden it's going across the track, and so it's making you looser when you get into these corners. So it definitely added another element of difficulty for these guys.
And the pace car driver J.D. Webb is getting ready to pull left. That's what Cowboy does. Cowboy's in. The leader can start the race anytime he wants. Terrence Donovan slowly about to press his foot down on the gas pedal. And we will take the green flag here at Daytona momentarily.
As the green flag comes out here, comes Terrence Donovan getting pushed by Rod Flagg onto his outside. And the number 20 machine, that is Matt Bontempi. So Brandon Traburco and Bontempi trying to get an early lead here as they're side by side going through the middle of 1 and 2.
But now you got Rod Flagg pushing Terrence Donovan. They're going to take the lead, and all by himself right now is Matt Bontempi, our pole sitter. It looks like he's going to hook up with Fenstermacher, and they're going to be right back there in third and fourth battling with Traburco and Basilia.
Well, you talk about Kevin Mahoney Jr., he's all the way back in the 9th position, and right now he is losing the draft, and losing the draft in a hurry. He has got no friends. Everybody else is all 2 by 2.
Kevin Mahoney is now probably about, I would say, 80% eliminated. We're going to put numerical value on this. But up front, we are about to finish lap 1. Terrence Donovan is your leader. being pushed by his partner Rod Flag, but right up behind him, Matt Bontempi and Fenstermacher are going to give him a run for their money, and also Chaburko and Frank Basilio. Those are the three groups of cars that I think will battle for the win tonight in this heat race.
Well, another factor added into these things is that these cars will heat up really fast. As you just saw the number 20 machine of Matt Bontempi just do a quick little flip there. So when these guys switch, it's going to jam these guys all up, so you got to be careful when you switch, when you don't switch, and if you get run over or not.
And we talk about this every week, the place that you want. They're already talking about it right now over the radio about making switches, but the place you want to make the switch is entering turn 1. This is when you're going fastest, as they're hitting 205 right now, and you see Terrence Donovan and Rod Flag making their switches. Along with the 2027, that was a butchered switch, but they're not going to make their switch, and Brady Chaburko is going to go right on by and take the lead. And you see Bontempi and Fenstermacher, they're drifting it back and they haven't switched yet.
Yeah, that was definitely a dangerous move between Bontempi and Furstermeister. That could have gone ugly in a hurry, and then all of a sudden those two would have been eliminated. So lucky break for them. They still haven't made the switch, so definitely Furstermeister is probably getting extremely hot right now, probably blinking on his gauges.
Yeah, they've gotten back together. They might have cooled off a little bit, Fenstermacher's car. They are going to push from the outside, and there's more talks of switches going on, but I can see about 2 or 3 switches as we are on lap 4 here of 10 laps here at Talladega.
Right now, it's still just a 6-car pull away at the front of the field. A little bit further back as you got the number 72 car of Ivan Garcia, or actually that was Larry Camp getting a little bit of loose coming out of 2 and saved it, gathered it back up. So now both Ivan Garcia and Larry Camp they're pretty much all done now.
Coming out of turn 4 here on lap 4, 1st through 6th is single file. Nothing has changed. We're still waiting for Bontempi and Fenstermacher to make their switches. But up front is still Rod Flag and Terrence Donovan. That's not going to change anytime soon, as their closest competitors are still about 2/10 behind. And now you see Flag and Donovan making their switch, along with Chaburko and Basilio. And still not making their switch is Matt Bontempi and Scott Fenstermacher.
I think Fenstermacher and Bontempi have just basically they're separated enough that it's cooling off Fenstermacher's car. And right now, the 3 of them are going to get hooked up on the bottom. That's Chaburko, Bontempi, and Fenstermacher. And on the outside, you got Terrence Donovan and Rod Flag. So kind of 3-car bump drafting right now.
It's pretty interesting. I saw a couple weeks ago where drivers weren't making as many switches, but they were keeping their distance. And if you keep your distance, you can hold your speed generally pretty fast and not have to make the switch. And that time, they were heading 207 going to the corners. Everybody got back with their partners, but they finally finished the switch. But we're still waiting for Bontempi and Fenstermacher for their switch that should happen any lap now.
Well, right now, I guess the Bontempi and Fenstermacher is in the catbird seat right now. They can kind of be split up a little bit, cool off the engine, and all of a sudden still keep up with these 4 drivers in front of them. And when it's time to go, they'll just hook up, try to get a huge draft, and try to get it done on the outside.
Now, looking back, we do have a battle for 7th. Kevin Mahoney's made his way back up there. He's brawling around back here with Ivan Garcia and Larry Camp. They're all over the track, but this is a battle for the 7th position. That's really the only battle we got going on the track right now, and they are all of 7 seconds behind the leaders. So we thought Kevin Mahoney was all alone, but now he's got some friends, and they're not splitting anytime soon.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're so far behind everybody. They're over 9.5 seconds behind, so they're pretty much eliminated from this. I'm not sure how many guys move over to the B main, and basically that's the last chance to make it.
And we do have another switch. Rod Flag is in the lead. He's being pushed by his partner Terrence Donovan right behind them. Frank Basilia and Brendan Chaburko, who have also switched, are 3rd and 4th, and 5th and 6th is Bontempi and Fenstermacher. And look who's making their switch. Matt Bontempi and Scott Fenstermacher make a great switch, unlike their first time they tried it.
Well, that one was still pretty interesting. They still got it done. They almost wrecked each other again, but they're all hooked up, and now it's basically push, push, push to the finish of this race.
We're on the back straightaway with less than 3 laps to go. As you see, we're making more switches going into 3. I guess they must have hit about 270 now on their water temps. And Rod Flag is not able to squeeze it back down in front of Busilia, but he will have his partner, Terrence Donovan, move up so he can catch his draft. We're going to have some pretty good action as you see Fenstermacher and Bontempi making their way up there now. We do have 3 wide going down with 2 laps to go here at Talladega.
Bontempi and Fenstermacher are running around that outside. They got a pretty good draft off those guys when they were making the switch, but now they're going to fall back in line. It just doesn't seem that Bontempi and Scott can make that work, but they're going to just fan out with 3 cars right there. Rod Flag still sitting behind Terrence Donovan. Nothing doing there.
We do have a new leader, Brandon Chaburko. He's pulling in front of Terrence Donovan. Chaburko's got a great drafted partner, Frank Basilia, the 3rd. We are coming across through the tri-oval. Once we're out of the tri-oval, they will cross the finish line, and it will be lap 10 of 10. Here is the white flag.
Boy, you're saying that they come out of the tri-oval to cross the start-finish line here. That's pretty huge. That's about 100 feet past the normal start-finish line, especially for a track like Daytona. That's where you see a lot of the passes as they're setting it up. Maybe we'll get a pretty good finish here between Chaburko and Donovan.
Bontempi is all over the bumper of Frank Basilia. He's looking for a way to go, and he gets pushed out by Fenstermacher. They will lose momentum, and don't look for them to be in the hunt for the lead now, but the real battle is up front again. Brandon Chaburko and Terrence Donovan are side by side. Chaburko with about quarter of a car length lead over Donovan as I come through the tri-oval for the final time.
Coming through the tri-oval here, Terrence Donovan on the outside of Chaburko. These guys are going to try to make it very, very close here, and it's going to be Terrence Donovan. Not enough. Chaburko is going to win that race by 3/1000ths of a second, so congratulations to Brandon Chaburko for winning heat race number 2.
3/1000ths of a second is your win tonight by Brandon Chaburko. We do have him up here. Brandon, congratulations on your heat win. What was your strategy going into this heat race?
I mean, our strategy was just, to make it to the end, to get to the A main. I mean, that's the most important thing here. So, luckily we were able to do that.
Now, I guess you wouldn't have cared if you didn't win, but winning only helps your starting position for the next race. What are you going into the trophy dash? What's your mindset for that? Just all or nothing?
Yep, all or nothing. I mean, I really don't have nothing to lose. I've had up and down seasons. I'm just going to go in there all in.
Well, Brandon, congratulations, and Kyle Peddle is with Terrence Donovan.
Terrence, he came home second there, made it really close. The margin of victory for Brandon Chaburko there was 3/1000ths of a second, so a pretty close race there.
Yeah, that was a pretty close one. That's one of the closest I've been in. But yeah, I had a good race with Rod, but yeah, just couldn't do it at the end there.
You know, definitely with being in the top 6, it doesn't really matter where you finish, but you still want that victory, but you do transfer into the A main, so that's a pretty big relief for you.
Yeah, I like winning, but yeah, it's good to get a good starting position for the trophy dash.
Well,
yeah, you're welcome, man.
That's Terrence Donovan for finishing second place right now, and we're going to throw it to Clint, who's finished caught up with Frank.
Yeah, Frank's just making some comments to another driver. Frank, you finished 3rd tonight. What are you looking forward to in this A main coming up?
Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't expecting to be pulled up, but I was just not sure what to expect. I'm just glad to be in the trophy. Takes a little of the edge off for the rest of the night, but just looking to have some fun and get back to some clean racing with everybody in the A main.
Is your strategy going to change at all from this race to the A main?
I guess we just have to play it out and see. I mean, Brandon and I worked together a bit there. I'm glad it was a fun finish. I just saw how close everything was, but I don't really go into one of those with a plan. It's just more of who's starting around you, who you can get to first, and see who can take you up front.
Frank, congratulations on your third place in this second heat race. We will see you in the A main.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
And that is Frank Busilia.
Well, and that was the finish up for heat for heat race number 2 there. So
for the go ahead and take it to commercial.
So right now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back later.
listeners where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com. If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Clint Monahan here with Kyle Pedal to the Metal, Cowboy JD Webb, and John Wild Wild Westling. We are here at Talladega, and we're getting ready for the Trophy Dash. And the Trophy Dash points, these are a little different. They're just running for a separate point system. But we're going to run through the Trophy Dash points real quick. First place with 1 win this year and 3 top 5s is also your normal points series leader, Victor Bartlett, and Josh Hanner is right behind him, 20 points out. He has no wins, though, and only 2 top 5s. Third place, Dallas Miracle. Fourth place, Dale Smalley. And fifth place is Terrence Donovan.
Also tied for 5th place is Brendan Traburco. Both him and Terrence Donovan are 29 points behind. 7th is Andrew Berger. Rodney Wolford is in 8th. Josh Ball is 9th. And 10th is Jose Ramirez.
And those are the big names we're going to watch out for tonight as we are waiting for the race to get started. Big thing about the Trophy Dash is that you do not, it's not as big of a deal as the normal races are. This is just for a separate trophy at the end of the season, but these drivers still race hard because as narcissistic as racers are, they always want to win and be the best and have stuff with their names on it. I know I do, but luckily we get broadcasts with our names in it a couple times a week.
That's for sure, and also plus two, it's like you said, it's bragging rights. Oh, I did this. Well, yeah, well, I won this, so I'm better than you. So it's definitely bragging rights, especially when it comes to trophy dashes. And also trophy dashes, it's basically, it doesn't mean anything, so you get to hang it all out on the line, and if you wreck, oh well, you come back next week, or you get yourself ready for the A-main.
Yeah, these drivers, when they wreck, they're like, oh, you know what, dang. But luckily we still have an A-main right after it, as the A-main will be the third race we broadcast tonight. But during this Trophy Dash, we do see some great racing, and there has not been one finish I've seen that was not side-by-side going across the start-finish line.
Well, and plus two, with trophy dashes, if they want to beat and bang on each other, go for it. It's just, it's the old thing, it's checkers or wreckers.
Now, real quick, we're going to run through the normal standings here for the Super Speedway Cup Series. Remember, this is Super Speedway Racing short track style with all the heat races. Again, first place, just like in the Trophy Dash points, is Victor Bartlett, again followed by Terrence Donovan, who's only 11 points behind with 3 top 5s. Third is Josh Anner, fourth Dale Smalley, and fifth is Matt Bontempi.
In the sixth position, you still got Rodney Wolford. In seventh, you got Donnie. In eighth, you got Rod Flegg. Ninth is Doug Moore. 10th is Andrew Berger.
And shockingly enough, just outside the top 10, 48 points behind is Brendan Chaburko. He's one of those guys that, at the beginning of the season, I was looking out for to win the championship, but he's sitting 11th right now after 5 starts, and that's not looking good because, I mean, he's only 48 points behind, but we're halfway through the season, and if you're that far behind, it's going to be real tough. And he has won a race, but that one race is his only top 5 too. It's going to be real tough for him to make it up there.
Well, and plus two, 48 points behind. That's a full race. And now I know that you broadcast this series regular, and I've just kind of been stepping in right now. So how has the season been going so far for these guys?
Well, I tell you, every race has been a real quote-unquote barn burner, as Alex Trebek would like to say. But all race, they've come down to the very final lap, the very final corner, the very final straightaway. It's been nothing but exciting racing that we've had, and I'm so glad that I get to be a part of it weekly. I'm glad you get to join us tonight, too.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have the trophy dash for everyone.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced, at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
We're back here at Dega Super Speedway in Lincoln, Alabama for the Trophy Dash here on ETV Live. Don't forget, ETV Live is the only choice in simulation auto racing broadcasting. Since 2008, ETV Live has produced over 700 shows for over 220,000 viewers. ETV Live has pioneered and engineered some of the best innovations in online autosports broadcasting. With 3 pricing packages, you have options to book yours today. The industry experts, ETV Live, it's the only choice. Contact us at www.etv-eplay.net or etvlive@etv-eplay.net. And if you send email to that address, you will talk to Cowboy JD Webb.
So as these guys are all loading up into the server right now, we'll just kind of give you a quick rundown of who's in the Trophy Dash and who's not in the Trophy Dash right now. You got the number 06 car, Mark Brown. Raymond Evans is in the 83 machine. Frank in the 76 machine. 73 is Terrence Donovan. Jason Ultimate Mans is in the number 51. Dallas Miracle is in the 48. Victor Bartlett is in the 42 machine.
Representing Club Carolina, he's right outside, I think, Mooresville. Brandon Chaburko in the number 39. Brandon McKeechin, Georgia Peach, number 28. Hot Rod Flag, the pioneer of Super Speedway Racing Series, is in the 23 car. Glenn Hedrick, Josh Ball, Dana Osborne, Rodney Wofford, Josh Hanner, and Donnie Giratano in the number Earnhardt.
Of course, if you're new to racing, which you still know that number, it's the number 3 machine, but still, as always here, it's going to be an interesting race where these guys are just finishing up their warm-up right now, and we're getting ready to go Trophy Dash racing, and that's always going to be interesting. Hang it out on the line, doesn't matter if you smack that wall, it's either you bring home a trophy or you bring home the steering wheel.
How about that change in weather from the last race? It's now overcast, 81 degrees, with winds 11 miles an hour to northeast, and it's gusting. And
yeah,
of course the humidity is 42%, so we might have a little bit faster cars here.
The wind's gusting about north from 7 miles an hour up to into the northwest at about 11 miles an hour, and sometimes it does duck to the northeast, so the wind's kind of swirling right now, so that's going to definitely throw these guys for a curveball when they enter these corners. You get a gust of a wind, might make the back end of the car a little light, just try to snap it around on you, so that's going to be another added difficulty to this, and where and when that gust of wind might hit, if you can hold on to the car or not.
Now we got about 45 seconds here till we take the grid. I'm going to ask you something here. What is your favorite part about super speedway racing, Kyle?
Now, personally, I absolutely hate super speedway racing because, unfortunately, it's a lottery. You got to put yourself in the right place at the right time, and all of a sudden, next thing you know it, within half a second, your plan changes because you get shuffled out of line. But if you really, really want to know what I like about super speedway racing is the 3-wide action. It never gets old when you can have drivers on your outside and your inside, and you can still keep up with them. But still, I don't like these type of tracks.
My favorite part of super speedway racing is going to races at Talladega, which is about an hour from where I live here, and you will see some wild things out in South Park and the campground out there, and it gets even better if you go in the infield. There's infield concerts, people passing out beads. You know what they pass out beads for. It's like at 3 a.m. you'll be sleeping in your camper, and all of a sudden one guy goes, "Woo! Junior!" And it's like, and then all of a sudden you hear everybody in their tents and campers. It's like dogs barking. One dog barks, the rest start barking, and you're like, "Yeah, woo, Junior, Earnhardt!" All of that. It's wild, and that's what's great about Talladega. That's my favorite part of it. Is it's one big party.
I guess you could say Junior Nation never sleeps.
No, they don't, and sometimes they miss the race from being hungover. I've seen it. Not experienced it, just witnessed.
Yeah, see, I don't understand how you guys can go, or how people can get hungover and then miss a race like that. We go down to Michigan every year, so that's always fun. But anyway, we're going to take a look at the starting grid here. Rolling off in the first position, that's going to be number 06 of Mark Brown. Starting to his outside, in second place, Brendan Traburko.
Second row on the inside is Josh Hanner, and to his outside, and the 51 is Jason Altmans.
Rolling off fifth, Glenn Hedrick, and starting off sixth is Terrence Donovan.
Number 15 in his Napa Chevy, Josh Ball, and to his outside is Shane McKeechin.
Rolling off number 9 in the number 3 machine, that's Donnie, and to his outside in the number 76 machine, Frank Bushilia.
11th to 12th, Dallas Miracle and Dana Osborne.
Rolling off 13th is Victor Bartlett, and to his outside, Rod Flagg.
And bringing up the rear on the last row is the number 7 car, Rodney Wofford, and the 83 to his outside, starting 16th, of Ramon Evans.
So like you saw in the heat race here, there's an even number of drivers, so everybody's going to have a friend, everybody's going to have a dancing partner, so it should make for an interesting finish, and nobody's going to get left out to dry unless there's a wreck that happens.
Now, of course, this is Corn Dogs and Coronas. It's party time here on Friday night. These races are caution-free. We have sent the flagman home. We sent a child up there to drop the green flag at the start of every race, and that is it. This trophy dash is 12 laps, and as these cars are heading down the backstretch, they're getting ready. They're warming up the tires. They're ready for the trophy dash as we enter turn 3 here on the pace lap.
Well, I have no idea what to expect here. It's 12 laps of white knuckle racing. Push your partner. Probably about 3 or 2 laps to go as you hook up. You push it. If it blows up, oh well, you get another chance in the A-main.
Our leader, Josh Ball, our leader, Mark Brown, who was the winner of one of the heat races, is coming up. He was the winner of the first heat race in his Coors Light Chevy. Of course, Brendan Traburko was in the race we all saw. He won. This also depends on your starting position, so if you won the race, you were starting first 4. Josh Herron and Jason Altmans were the other heat race winners. J.D. Webb has brought the pace car down pit road here at Talladega. We are waiting to take the green flag, and you see a slight jump from those 6. He's ready to go. He's waiting as we come through the trial. This is the slowest green start ever, and the green is out. The driver has taken a start. Traburko will go across the line first, but our leader for this lap has been Mark Brown for the start of the race.
As now Traburko is going to try to pull in front of Mark Brown. Nothing doing there. Brown comes charging back on the inside here. Now Traburko is going to back up to the 51 machine. That is Jason.
And now going up 3 wide is the 28, Shane McKeechin come back from 8th. They're going for the lead. He's being pushed right back there by Frank Basilia as they try to go around both Jason Altmans and Brandon Chaburko. And, of course, on the inside, they just got passed, which is really weird seeing that here, was Mark Brown, our leader, who's all the way back to, well, he was about 4th or 5th, but now he is in 3rd place.
Oh, there's a driver here, the Joshua Hanner, went all the way to the back. He knew it was coming here. He's just going to get himself out of line, probably go find his drafting partner. They're going to work their way back up through the field and see what they can get done. But so far up front, still Brandon Chaburko and Jason Altman.
We are lap 2 here, 12 laps here at Talladega Superspeedway in Lincoln, Alabama. Your leader is Brandon Chaburko, being pushed by Jason Altmans. They got a pretty comfortable lead, about, I'll say, 6 car lengths over the 73 of Terrence Donovan, but they are making time up quick. Him and both Glenn Hendrick are making their ways through turn 3, catching up to the 51 and the 39.
Well, and also behind them, you got Shane Mission and Frank Busilia. They're hooked up to see if they can be in the draft with also Terrence Donovan and Glenn Hendrick. As now Glenn Hendrick and Terrence Donovan are now all the way up to the back bumper of Brandon Chaburko. So look to see if they're going to make a move, as now Glenn Hendrick's going to pull out of line a little bit, cool off the front of that car, and they're going to just form back in line and see how much they're going to push now.
Our pole sitter, Mark Brown, is all the way back to 9th place now. He does not have a drafting partner, which is weird considering we do have an even amount of cars, but I guess he's got split up from it. As you look in front of him, Rod Flagg and the 15 to Josh Ball have made their switch, so we're starting to see switches here on lap 3. That might be a little early, but of course, these drivers know what they do, and they do this weekly at either Daytona or Talladega. And of course, we are here next week from Daytona here on ETV Live, and as you see, Mark Brown still doesn't have a drafting partner as we begin lap 4.
Oh, and up front there is a change for the lead, as now Glenn Hendrick's going to duck out of line again. That's going to allow the number 76 machine of Frank Basilia to work underneath the inside of him. Is now 3 wide through the back straightaway. Jason Altman and Brandon Chaburko are going to split Glenn Hendrick, as he's going to go all the way to the back. And now the new form up front is going to be Terrence Donovan and Frank Basilia.
Glenn Hendrick just forced his way back down there after losing about 5 spots. He was leading, of course. He's going to try to hook back up with someone to catch a draft again, but we do have a battle for first. Terrence Donovan on the inside, Jason Altmans on the outside. This lap will go to Jason Altmans, who is, of course, being followed by Terrence Donovan, but Jason Altman's partner is Brandon Chaburko, who is, of course, doing a fantastic job pushing. He's one of the best super speedway racers on the iRacing.com service.
A little bit further back, you got the number 23 machine of Rod Flagg in 6th position, being pushed by Josh Ball. Those guys are looking to make a move on the outside line here. As up front, we got a switch for the lead. Brandon Chaburko goes underneath the 51 machine of Jason Altman. So they're going to make that switch. That's going to allow Terrence Sullivan and Frank Basilia to try to get up alongside of them and see if they're going to lead this lap.
They will go up right under Chaburko and Altmans, but 28, Shane McKeechin drifts up, makes a little bit of contact with Glenn Hendrick. The leader this time by is Brandon Chaburko, with Terrence Donovan just barely edging out Jason Altmans for second by about 5 thousandths of a second. But the outside line is doing pretty well right now, led by Chaburko and Donovan, and even Glenn Hendrick, who has no drafting partner, is doing fairly well. And we do have someone that has fallen out of the draft. That is Mark Brown, our leader. He's fallen back all the way to 15th place. It's incredible how the mighty have fallen here in just 6 laps.
Back up front, you got a new group coming into the fray here. That's the number 48 machine of Dan Miracle and also Rodney Wolf. These guys came out of nowhere, as they're going to go 3 wide on the outside of the 50 machine of Josh Ball and Glenn Hendrick, as now they're going to fall in behind Hendrick and Donovan. They're going to see if they can make their way back up to the front, but up front now, as they're going to go 3 wide for the second position. Both Frank Basilia and Shane Mission were making a swap underneath of, or on top of Jason Altmans.
Yeah, that was a pretty good swap right there by McKeechin and Basilia, but as you see, Donnie Giarratano sticks his nose in there. He's going to take over the 3rd position. Now he's making his way up there. Under 2nd, he's under 1st place. He is being pushed by the number 8. That is Dana Osborne, and we might have a new leader this time by, as you see Donnie Giratano in his number 3 Snap-on Chevrolet. They will come across the line, and he will not lead this lap, barely not lead this lap. By 6,000ths, he is only second, but Jason Altman does have new competition now from Donnie Giratano and Dana Osborne.
Well, Giratano got his partner Osborne got a little bit loose behind him. That's the only reason why they didn't lead that lap. So now Altman and Traburco rocketed back up to the front, and they got about a 2-car length lead. But here comes Giratano and Osborne. They've got that draft pick back up here, and a little bit further back, they're starting to go 3 wide for the 10th or 8th, 10th, and 12th position here with the 2 cars there. That's Rodney Wolf, Rod Flagg and company.
Yeah, Victor Bartlett and Josh Hanner on the very outside trying to make their way around both Rod Flagg and his partner Josh Ball, and to their inside is Rodney Wofford and Dallas Miracle, who is a previous winner in this series. And looking up front, look who's making his way back up there. That is the 3-car Donnie Giratano. He is leading right now, getting a great push by Dana Osborne, and now sticking his nose in there's Glenn Hedrick, who still doesn't have a drafting partner. This is incredible here.
Well, Henrik's got definitely a strong car. He's kind of the odd man out of this group. Everybody else around him, Traburco, Altman, Giratano, Osborne, Terrence Donovan, Busilia, they've all got partners. Glenn Hedrick's kind of stuck in the middle, and he's like, all right, guys, if you guys aren't going to draft me, I'm going to prove that you should be the one who's drafting with me, as now Osborne's going to get loose on the apron coming through the trial there, so Traburco's going to lead that lap again.
Yeah, when you're following someone on the inside line, you can lose your spot and make a turn too soon, and when you catch that apron, you will get loose. We do have less than 3 laps to go here in the Trophy Dash, and we are 3 wide for the 4th position.
This is going to get crazy here. Busilia is on the inside of Osborne, and Glenn Hedrick is now that inside line starting to roll. Both Altman and Traburco made a swap, so here comes everybody else. This time by 2 to go.
And they're in a trial with about with little over 2 laps to go. Jason Altman's will be your leader. He's being pushed by, of course, Brandon Traburco in 2nd place. We have 2 laps to go finally, and we are still have a huge battle back here going on for the 11th position. As you see, these cars are they have been stacking up, and now they're spreading out again. But we are single file 1st through 5th here, as we about have a lap and a half to go.
Well, Victor Bartlett in the 42 machine and Josh Haynar in the 5 machine. Those guys, Haynar pulled out of line in the beginning of the race, went all the way to the back. Now he's kind of now in the middle of everything here, as they're going to see if they can make a final last-ditch effort and try to make their way to the front, as we're going to get contact
15, 28 contact.
And they're going to wreck all around here, as that's a lot of cars in there. That's huge. But up front, they're going to stay green, because remember, the flagman's gone home. So up front, still Altman and Traburco.
Victor Bartlett, Rodney Wofford, Ramon Evans, Dallas Miracle, Dana Osborne, Josh Hanner, Frank Basilia, Rod Flagg, Glenn Hedrick. Pick a name. They've probably been in this wreck. Terrence Donovan. Incredible.
It all started when the 15 of Josh Ball and the 28 machine of Shane Mission got together. So now up front it's going to be Traburco and Altman as they come onto the front straightaway here. When do you make your move? As Traburco's going to work onto the outside of Altman. Remember, the start-finish line isn't here, so Traburco's trying to use that side draft as they get together here. Coming across the start-finish line, Traburco's going to win it
there
again.
It is. What a finish here. Brandon Traburco is your Trophy Dash winner, as we have all sorts of... There's not one car that didn't make contact in this race on this last lap. And we do have driver's voice in their displeasure about the setup, but by 2.5 hundredths of a second, Brandon Traburco is the winner of the Trophy Dash. He's, of course, also on the podiums, Jason Altmans and Josh Ball.
Well, now we move on to the B main, but now with Traburco going to the A main, he's looking to try to see if he can sweep right now.
And this broadcast is brought to you by the Rewind, BS, and Back Talk radio show. Join the cowboy, J.D. Webb, Dakota Airman, and Jimmy North Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. for an hour of rewind looking back at previous broadcast events, drama, and topics too hot to touch. The Cowboy ramps it up in the BS and Back Talk segment with thoughts and opinions on some of the hot topics in the online racing arena. It doesn't just pertain to iRacing. It's an all-new show, fun and entertaining. Rewind, BS and Back Talk, 9 p.m. Tuesdays, only on ETV Live Radio. And we are now joined by, I'm up here with our third place finisher in the Trophy Dash. That is Josh Ball. Josh, what happened there in that last lap?
Well, I was just going back to look at it myself. I guess what happened, we were coming into the tri-oval, and me and Shane got into it a little bit, tried to save it, and then they were coming up behind me too fast, and it looks like they wrecked.
That's the action you'll get here on the Super Speedway Series.net Cup Series on Friday nights. Is there anything different that you would do in the next race from this race?
We're gonna try to keep our nose up front there, and maybe hopefully not get tangled up with the 28 car. That would be good. But other than that, try to stay up front and see how it goes.
Yeah, that looks like it was just a tough break. That is Josh Ball. He's your third place finisher here tonight at Talladega. And caught up with Jason Altmans is Kyle Peddle.
Well, Jason Altmans came home second tonight when you looked in that rearview mirror, and all of a sudden half the pack disappeared, and all of a sudden it came down between you and Traburco. Traburco eat you out at the end there. What was going through your head?
Gosh, I thought we actually had it planned out pretty well there. We had everything timed out. We were going to keep it nice and cool towards the end, and we're going to make it a good show there. But all of a sudden, you look in the back of the rearview mirror and see how much smoke, and everyone disappeared. And I was like, well, now it's just Traburco and I, so this isn't going to go well because he's really good at making those last-moment passes.
And last-moment pass he did make. I know he kind of did the right-left on you. Is there anything you could have done differently now that you're looking at the replay?
Smashed him up into the wall. I was thinking about it for a second. I was like, I wonder if I smashed him in the wall here real quick. We'd still have time to make the finish. But, we work together really well. We're teammates. So it's kind of funny how we have completely different driving styles. Somehow we make it work. And there we are, 1-2.
Well, that's Jason Altman. He came home second. And once again, Clint Monahan has caught up with your first place finisher again for the Trophy Dash, Brendan Traburco.
Chopard, it's been so long since I talked to you today. Now, you were the winner of the second heat race, and you won this race. Does that mean you're going to win the A-Main?
I mean, that's the plan, of course, but those races don't mean as much as the A-Main. I mean, I'm sitting 11th in points right now, so my strategy for the A-Main is just going to go all out, just like I did in the Dash, and hopefully get the same result.
Well, that was my next question. What was your strategy going to be? I was going to ask, is it all or nothing? And since you are just outside the top 10, I would say all or nothing too. Now, in that race, what did you see in your mirror during that huge wreck on the last lap?
I mean, it just looked like Josh Ball and Shane McEachin just got a little tangled up, and I think they lost a little bit of speed, and it was just a huge chain reaction behind them.
That's your winner tonight for the second time in the 39 Chevrolet. That's Brendan Traburco. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on ETV Live.
plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com. If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
Welcome back, and in case you are oblivious, you are watching ETV Live's broadcast of the SuperSpeedway.net Cup Series. This is, of course, a big track racing, short track style, and we are getting ready for the B main here. Here at the B main, the top 8 finishers, unless they are provisionals, will make it into the A main coming up, and of course we do have more weather change. Kyle, can you go in on the detail on that?
Oh yeah, it's been kind of a crazy weather day here in Lincoln, Alabama, but so far now it's partly cloudy, 74 degrees Fahrenheit, winds are north, still gusting a little bit, you got about 6 to 9 miles an hour, gusting north-northwest, and now the relative humidity is 34 degrees, so definitely some big changes here, but I want to tell you something about Derek Spears Design, sponsoring a part with the Inside Sim Racing TV of the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault series on Thursday nights. Derek Spears Designs manufactures top-shelf simulation racing components such as pedals, shifters, button boxes, and trust me, those button boxes, I've seen a couple of them. They're pretty nice, and you want to get your hands on those. They're reasonable priced. This is the kind of gear a champion sim racer driver needs, bulletproof and boot stomping strong. See his gear at DerekSpearsDesigns.com. Once again, that's Derek Spears Designs. I'm telling you, those button boxes, they're just something else.
Now, boot stomping strong, is that JD Webb boot stomping strong, or just your normal?
I think it's JD boot stomping strong.
Oh, that's pretty dang strong. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty strong.
We got about 3 minutes left till we take it here at Talladega. Now, these drivers are warming up. We got some names that we haven't talked about tonight. How about Phil Foltz, President and CEO of HD Radio, which makes it possible for us to be heard if you are stuck in the Stone Ages and only want to listen to us on the radio. I don't have a face for radio. I have a face for TV, but it's too bad y'all can't see that. But we got guys like, of course, Phil Foltz, Kevin Kelly. We haven't talked about him at all. We've talked about Kevin Ballas Mahoney Jr. and Ivan Garcia is another guy that we haven't talked much about. But all these guys in this race are still strong competitors. They just had a tough break and got to make it in through the B main.
Yeah, it's always definitely tough when you come into the B main because now you can't make any mistakes. Once again, there's it looks to be an even number of drivers in here. Not too sure about that. Going to have to get that finalized when they grid it. So everybody's going to have a dancing partner, but if get squirrely, or you hit the apron, or you do something dumb and you take yourself out, well, that's it. Your night's done. You don't get to race again.
Yeah, you're packing up, going home. That's where we get the, big track racing, short track style. If you don't finish top 8, you're going to go home, and well, there's nothing else to do other than watch a race if you're here at Talladega. This race tonight will be 15 laps, no cautions. If you are not going 206 miles an hour going across the start-finish line on the last lap, you probably will not win this race.
No, and also if you're going across the start-finish line upside down, that's probably not too good either.
Just a little under a minute and a half here, we will get ready for the B main here on ETV Live. Real quick, speaking of Phil Foltz and the HD Radio Network, they are the home of ETV Live Radio. The HD Radio Network gives you a variety of stations to choose from, including big 80s hair metal, all HDR classics, all HDR country, and more. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude. HD Radio Network stations are featured on iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, and also listed in the Windows Media Guide. Listen today from hdradionetwork.com, or take it with you. You can get the mobile app from tunein.com.
And I'll tell you what, as the time starts running down here, I just crawled up the stairs here, figured I'd take a sneak peek in the booth. Just wanted to remind everybody out there, if you're into short track racing, and I'll tell you what, Season 3 coming up here, this is a series being sponsored by Double Clutch Incorporated. The Season 3 Silver Crown Sprint Car and the Tour mods, and this is the Triple Crown of short track racing, Cowboy, and that's all coming up Season 3 right here live on ETV Live. So if you're a short track fan, you like them Silver Crowns and them little sprint cars and those modifieds, I'll tell you what, Cowboy, Season 3 live on ETV Live, even have a couple of double headers planned. I'm going to throw it back up to Kyle Peddle and Clem Monahan.
Before you leave, Cowboy, what have you thought so far tonight of what we've seen in these 3 races?
Hey, it's Corn Dog and Corona night here at Talladega Super Speedway with these Super Speedway Cup boys, and I'll tell you what, I always love tuning in on ETV Live on Friday nights. I got my corn dogs, I got my cooters, and I tell you what, this is some fantastic racing here every Friday night. You never know what to expect. I don't come here with any kind of a notion of who's going to do what and when and how. I just tune in and got my corn dogs and Coronas and have a good time. That's it.
Yeah, you just tune in and tell us what to do. Why can't we switch? How about that?
I don't know. I'd love to have
All right,
job.
guys. Have a good race. Good job.
That is the Cowboy J.D. Webb. If you ever hear the song by Toby Keith, Should Have Been a Cowboy, it's talking about J.D. Webb. It's just his life story. And we have taken the grid here at Talladega. Starting off on the front row is Hunter Bowles, and to his outside is Scott Fenstermacher.
Rolling off in the 3rd position, Doug Moore, and to his outside, Kerry A. Witt.
Row 3 in the 30 car, David Saunders, and to his outside is Matt Bontempi.
Rolling off on the inside of row number 4, Gary Tarvin, and to his outside, Jimmy Tolliver.
Starting 9th in the 72 Chevy is Ivan Garcia, and to his outside is Kevin Kelly.
Rolling off row number 6, Gary Schink, and to his outside, Kevin Mahoney Jr.
And I apologize, Ivan Garcia is driving a Ford, but it's a Carolina Panthers car, so I will ignore that since I'm a Falcons fan. On the last row is Larry Camp, and to his outside is HD Radio CEO number 71, Phil Foltz.
Then I guess I just have to ignore you for the rest of the broadcast because I'm a Packers fan.
Well, you're Canadian, so I don't care.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yep. Now, this race, again, it's 15 laps of balls-to-the-wall action being led here by Hunter Bowles, who is just itching to stump on the gas. He's got it in 4th gear right now, hitting about 2,000 RPM, and that's not what you want to do when you're a racer. You just want to stomp it. Do the Nashville stomp, as they say down here. I'm looking for Hunter Bowles and the guy to his outside, Scott Fenstermacher, to be up front at the end.
So just to clarify here right now, the top 8 will make it into the A main, and there's a couple of provisionals here. You got the number 20 of Matt Bontempi. He's going to get a provisional. The number 74 machine of Doug Moore is going to get a provisional. The 29 of Hunter Bowles and the number 89 machine of Kerry A. Witt. Obviously, they were had high enough points last season, so they'll be fine, and they will make it into the A main. Unless they finish inside the top 8, then they'll still make it.
J.D. Webb ran back down the track, has pulled the pace car down pit road here at Talladega. Hunter Bowles waiting to start the race. You don't know when he's going to start it because he can start it. That's what's great about iRacing. And he has started the race. He's being pushed by Doug Moore while the green flag is out, and Scott Fenstermacher is to the outside with help from Kerry Witt.
As also, we're still getting word here from the race director, Rod Flagg, that right now the 20 and the 74 would be locked in.
Now coming out of turn 2, our leader is still Hunter Bowles. He's got Doug Moore in the Diet Coke car Chevrolet right behind him. Scott Fenstermacher is being pushed by Kerry Witt. That's 27, and Fenstermacher is in second place if you're going to go by standings right now. And of course, right behind him is David Saunders and Matt Bontempi. As we do have 3 wide here on lap 1. These guys are making it known that they want to make it to the A-main.
These guys are not wasting any time here. As the benefactor of that 3 wide is going to be Doug Moore. He's going to go to the pole, being pushed by David Saunders here, and Frank Fenstermacher is going to go back to the 3rd position here.
Now how about Hunter Bowles? He's all the way back to about 6 now after he just made contact with the 72 of Ivan Garcia. That was pretty close. This is not the time, I guess, if you're going to make contact at Talladega, this is definitely not the time to do it. And we're going to make our way back to 11th as Gary Shank is being pushed by Jimmy Tolliver. They're trying to make their way up into the top 8 because they really want to be in this race.
Well, right now they both push themselves into the transfer spots right now, but a lot can change here. Still got 13 laps to go, so still a lot of uncertainty going on right now, but still up front is Doug Moore and David Saunders. Nothing's going to change there. Those guys look like they're starting to check out on the field.
Yeah, they got about a 7.5 tenths of a second lead over Fenstermacher and Gary Tarvin, and that's a guy we haven't mentioned in his Lionel Racing Chevrolet. He's repping Texas. Don't mess with him. But of course, right behind him.
Well, everything's bigger in Texas, but yeah, is now Jimmy Tolliver and Gary Shank have moved themselves into the transfer spot, and they're looking to go around the outside of Ivan Garcia and the number 89 machine of Kerry A. Witt. So those guys looking to move their way up to the front here and make sure that they're completely safe and get themselves locked into the A-main.
Now back here in the back of the pack, I'm looking at this battle, not really a battle I guess, but Kevin Kelly, Phil Fultz, and Kevin Mahoney Jr. These are guys that have got to get it going. I know it's only lap 4 here on 15 laps, but they got to get it going to make it up in those transfer spots because it's such a short race. Every lap is important. You cannot fall to the back and try to avoid all the wrecks. You got to go balls to the wall here on corn dogs and Coronas. Cowboy.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to go, and it almost looks like Kevin Mahoney Jr. and both Larry Camp have now lost a draft, so tough break for them. I think they're done for the night. Back up front, the battle for that transfer spot starting to heat up again. You got Matt Bontempi, John Tolliver, Hunter Bowles, and Gary Shank all battling for that 8th position, so that's really starting to heat up here. These guys are going for it as Ivan Garcia is going to get down on the apron. He's not going to lose any momentum as they're now going to go 3 wide for that transfer spot.
3 wide into turn 1. Ivan Garcia on the inside. 13 to Jimmy Tolliver was in the middle, and of course Shank was on the outside. They do get back to 2 wide, but Luke is making his way back up there. He's now in the transfer spot. That's Hunter Bowles, who started first. I'm sure he's pretty depressed after how he fell to the back as he makes his way under Jimmy Tolliver. That is for the 8th position.
I guess at this point right now, it doesn't matter how depressed you get as long as you stay in that transfer spot, as they're going to go 3 wide again. Matt Bontempi, Ivan Garcia, and the number 13 machine of Jimmy Tolliver are going to go 3 wide, as that's going to figure themselves out here, as still Jimmy Tolliver at the moment here hangs on as they're going to get really close, and now Jimmy Tolliver is going to move back to the 8th position, so he's 2 spots out of that transfer spot right now.
5 laps are complete here at Talladega Superspeedway. Of 15 laps, your top 5 is David Saunders, Doug Moore, Scott Fenstermacher, Gary Tarvin, and Kerry Witt. And they've kept it single file pretty much the whole time. And as I say that, you know, Kerry Witt gets passed by both Matt Bontempi and Hunter Bowles, who are making a switch after they made that pass. We are on turn 4 here on lap 6.
Well, Kerry A. Witt's in trouble right now. He's the third person out here. He's going to go backwards in a hurry, and he's going to get sucked back into the battle for the transfer spot. So he might actually end up not making this show right now because he's all by himself. He needs a friend.
He needs a friend, and he ain't got a friend right now. Kerry Witt is still, he's catching the draft a little bit.
Well, that old saying, you got a friend in me? Well, Kerry Witt doesn't have a friend in him right now.
Yeah, he's friendly.
Yeah,
and he gets picked last kickball, or gets picked last to be drafted with. And of course, right behind him, Kevin Kelly, Ivan Garcia, and Jimmy Tolliver. They were 3 wide there for a second. Again, this is the part I'm watching now, is this battle for the transfer spot. That's where the great racing is going to be on the track, because really, if you're racing hard, and I guess from 6th on up, you're decreasing your chances of actually finishing it by racing too hard, and you could possibly wreck.
And that's always how it seemed is over the years, and especially even with that Eldora race, is when you always look at the transfer spot, there's always a huge battle going on for there. That's kind of settled down now. Jimmy Tolliver is pushing Gary Shank, and that is the transfer spot, as now they're both going to go flying past the lone car of, that is the 89 machine of Kerry A. Witt. So Kerry A. Witt is going to go from the lead draft to no friends to outside the transfer spot right now, so definitely a tough break for him. He needs a friend, and he needs a friend in a hurry.
Up front, we did have a battle for first. David Saunders and Doug Moore have both made the switch, with David Saunders in first place now. And as you look behind them, both Matt Bontempi and the 29 of Hunter Bowles have made their switch. Hunter Bowles has made an impressive comeback after dropping back quickly at the start of the race. But your top 5 here after 8 laps, we are on lap 9. Your top 5 is David Saunders, Doug Moore, Matt Bontempi, Hunter Bowles, and Scott Fenstermacher.
Well, both Hunter Bowles and Matt Bontempi, they were up inside the top 5. They fell back, and now they're back inside the top 5. They're both 3rd and 4th respectively, looking to see if they can close in on the leader. And right now, I feel bad for Kerry A. Witt. He's got to be just smacking that steering wheel so hard right now, as we're going to get a battle for the lead. Matt Bontempi looking on the outside of David Saunders and Doug Moore.
Kerry Witt is more than a second behind Jimmy Tolliver to catch his draft, so he's not catching any draft. And we have a big wreck with cars in the back, and we got Larry Camp, Ivan Garcia in his Carolina Panthers car, and the 66 of Kevin Mahoney Jr. Those guys did not make it through that wreck. So we do have some cars that have been eliminated, but you know, you got Phil Foltz and Kevin Kelly, who were not involved in that wreck, but they still have some catching up to do, as they are 3.5 seconds behind the leaders.
I think we're going to need an ambulance back there, because that was a huge hit. There's a lot of rolling, and that's basically going to lock in the top 8 right now. Is now Gary A. Witt just so far behind, and same thing with Kevin Kelly and Phil Foltz. Sorry, they're so far behind. But if these guys keep racing the way that they're doing, they're going 3 wide almost for the lead. Is now Hunter Bowles and Matt Bontempi are going to take over the top spot from David Saunders and Doug Moore. And like I said, the top 8 looks to be basically locked in. Now it's unfortunately, every fan hates this when a race car driver says this. Now it's just time to ride.
Yeah, we do have 5 laps to go as they made their way around Saunders and Moore while they were making their switch. And what better time to make a switch than after you pass somebody? That's the time that Hunter Bowles and Matt Bontempi made their switch. We do have 5 to go here. Coming up on 4 to go here at Talladega Superspeedway, your new leader is Matt Bontempi.
Well, and I guarantee you is that these guys as crew chiefs are starting to come on the radios. Okay, guys, don't race too hard. You guys will be fine. As I say that, they're going to go 3 wide for the 8th position. That's the number 17 of Gary Tarvin, Gary Shank, and Jimmy Tolliver. They went 3 wide. They all sorted it out. But like I was saying, that crew chief has come on the radio and said, okay, guys, you guys are all locked in. You might as well just kind of ride it out. Don't get stupid. Don't wreck each other, and you guys will all make the A main.
Yeah, that's right. And really, they don't have to race each other because they've got it by about 4.5 seconds over Kevin Kelly and Phil Foltz, who were just waiting for something to happen. It's got to be so frustrating for them that there's nothing they can do about it because they're so.
Yeah, they're so far behind.
First through 8th is single file. There's no reason for them to race.
Nope, as now Hunter Bowles and Matt Bontempi have opened up over a second lead on David Saunders and Doug Moore, so look for them to be an extreme factor in the A-main, coming about probably from the back of the pack, but still, I keep saying this, and we go back to the number 89 machine in the 11th position, Kerry A. Witt. He was having a good run, he had friends around him, and all of a sudden his friends left him, he became single car, lost the draft, came back into the clutches of Matt Bontempi and all of them, and all of a sudden got passed for the final transfer spot, and now he still can't find a friend. So still a very, very tough break for Kerry A. Witt.
Yeah, it is a tough break, but lucky for him, he does have he does have provisional, but the only real cars that are locked in are Matt Bontempi and Doug Moore, and we do have a battle going back here for 6th, and it's just really awkward to see here as we only have 2 laps to go left here in the B main at Talladega, or as some of the locals in Lincoln like to say, Talladega. If you ever go on a tour, that's what the guy driving the Ford E350 bus will say. They have gotten back out, and Doug Moore is being pushed by the 30 of David Saunders. They just made their switch. That was for 3rd place, and they're just keeping steady as we are on the last lap here at Talladega.
As both Bontempi and Hunter Bowles, I don't think they're going to switch anymore. That's it for them. Doug Moore and David Saunders got nothing for them. These guys are just going to ride out this final lap. So at this point, as we're going to have another battle for the 6th and 7th, 8th position, I don't know why you're doing this, is they actually almost collected each other. The 13 of Jimmy Tolliver, the 25 of Gary Schenk, and Gary Tarvin almost collected each other as they're going to come onto the front stretch and through the tri-oval. Congratulations to Hunter Bowles and Bontempi for finishing 1-2.
Oh, this ain't over yet. It is Matt Bontempi by 12 hundredths of a second. Wow, we all but gave that to Hunter Bowles, but Matt Bontempi just cut it outside and got the win. And of course, we do have our top 8 cars. You know, if you're going to make a pass or try to make a pass, do it where you have no chance of not making it into the race. But congratulations to Matt Bontempi in that win. There are 8 guys going to the race. Matt Bontempi, Hunter Bowles, Doug Moore, David Saunders, Scott Fenstermacher, Gary Tarvin, Jimmy Tolliver, and Gary Schenk.
Well, and the provisionals have been handed down from Race Control and Rod Flag, and we felt bad for Kerry A. Witt that he couldn't find a dancing partner. He got lucky, got in off a provisional, so both Gary A. Witt and Philip Foltz have made the A-main through championship provisionals.
We got Doug Moore up here, our 3rd place finisher. Doug, tell me about your race.
Good smooth race. Everybody had a good run there. It was getting close right there at the end. Almost had enough real estate to get there, but not quite.
Yeah, I know it wasn't too important. Were you trying real hard to get the win, or were you just trying to keep your top 8?
Well, mainly trying to keep the top 8, but draft kind of pulled us on around there, so it got a little tasty there.
And of course, why not when you're that close to the start-finish line there at the end? Is there anybody you want to thank?
Just thank Rod Flag and ETV for getting this thing done.
That is Doug Moore, your 3rd place finisher. Kyle Peddle is with our 2nd place finisher, Hunter Bowles, who we thought was going to win.
Well, Hunter, you kind of had a scary moment there, especially at the beginning of the race, leading it, and all of a sudden going back and having to basically scrap for that transfer spot. Tell us how that went.
I dropped back at the very beginning to pick up Matt because I really didn't know anybody up front I could work with, and I knew he needed a partner. So that was kind of planned. But in the middle of the race coming back through there, I had some pretty scary moments. Had significant contact once or twice.
That's never a fun thing, and basically at the end there, we both, me and Clint, were giving you the victory, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, we look up and here comes Matt Bontempi around your outside there. Obviously, a little bit of friendly competition there, even though you guys knew at that point in time you were locked into the show. So if you guys collected each other and went head on to the wall, you still were going to make the show.
Yep. I actually didn't know he was going to try to make a move on me there, but yeah, it got kind of close.
So the element of surprise. So anybody you want to thank for tonight?
I'd like to thank Rod Flag for throwing all the money that he does into this and keeping it running every week.
That was Hunter Bull, came home second, as we're going to throw it down to victory lane once again with Clint Monahan. He's caught up with Matt Bontempi.
Matt Bontempi, you made the B main exciting. It was B for bombastic. It was fantastic. Matt, tell me about your race.
Well, my race was a great one. Like Hunter said, we planned on getting together. We were talking on TeamSpeak, and we've worked together a lot. Been friends on here for a long time on this iRacing, and we were pretty sure we were going to work together if we could. And the plan was just to get together and make our way to the front and stay at the front, and with success. I've got to say, this weather that iRacing had in this last build, I've got to congratulate them on it. I got to say, it's like, if you get that wind correct and you just get that wind pushing you, you can fly for like laps on end when you get that wind in your back. So it's just fantastic. Thank you, iRacing, for that.
Yeah, we saw speeds hit 208 at one point. I forgot where I saw it. It was probably around lap 11, right before switch. So that changes a lot of stuff when you could have cars overheating too. You know, what is there anything different you're going to do for the A main?
For the A main, pretty sure me and my buddy Hunter are going to hook up again and straight to the front and stay there. That's the plan. I think on any given week the plan is to go to the front and stay there. You want to start at the front, but don't have the luxury of that because I put myself in a bad spot after not transferring from my heat. So you just want to go to the front and stay there. There's no doubt of that.
And of course, who do you want to thank for this win?
I want to thank Hunter Bowles, great partner, great friend. I want to thank my team on iRacing, Break It Down Racing. They have some great paint schemes if you want them. Break It Down Designs. Go see James South and Sprouse. I also got to thank Josh Hanner, like I always do. He when I was a little rough around the edges on this super speedway racing and all of this good stuff, he picked me up and he dusted me off and helped me. So I got to thank Josh Hanner and, of course, Rod Flag and you guys, ETV, for what you do.
Oh shucks, thanks. That is Matt. That's Matt Bontempi, your winner of the B main. He of course is going to the A main. Now, after those interviews, we're going to take a quick break, and I mean quick break. Quick, please do not go anywhere. Don't walk your dog. Your dog can wait. And if your dog defecates in the house, that's tough. Blame it on me. We'll be right back. You are watching the SuperSpeedway.net Cup Series here and only on ETV Live. Welcome back to ETV Live's coverage of the Super Speedway Series Cup Series here. Kyle and I are going to run through the top 10 real quick in points. First, again, with 1 win this season and 4 top 5s, Victor Bartlett. And, of course, only 11 points behind him is Terrence Donovan. 15 points behind the leader, Josh Hanner. And 23 behind him, Dale Smalley. And with 87 total points, in 5th place is Matt Bontempi.
In 6th place, Rodney Wolford, and in 7th place, 37 points behind, is Donnie Girantano. 8th is Rod Flagg, 9th Doug Moore, and 10th Andrew Berger. And I think Clint, these crazy weather conditions, they keep changing. Wanted to tell us what they've changed to now?
Once I get my weather app to load, it's still taking a while to load for some reason.
Oh, well, we wait for the master weatherman to get his app loaded. Actually, I got mine loaded before you did, so I'm going to tell her what it is. It's cooled off a lot here, obviously getting ready to do some night racing. 65 degrees Fahrenheit, the wind is now out of the southeast. It's still gusting in northeast to southeast. This is some crazy weather going on around here, and the relative humidity is about 48 degrees still. 48%,
Storms
sorry.
are brewing. Now, you know, I was about to call up my friend. She works at, she does weather at CNN. But I was going to name drop, and I don't get the name drop. You make me sad, Kyle.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry.
It's too late.
Oh, I'm sorry. But anyway, here is while these guys are getting ready to practice or getting these themselves all warmed up. Probably about a 30-car field, so going to be an interesting race tonight. Now we've moved into the main event. It's going to be 30 laps. Once again, the flagman's gone home. We've found another kid up in the grandstands, invited him up to the flag stand. All he's got to do is wave that flag.
Yeah, all he's got to do is drop the green flag and go tell his parents what special event he has just done. We got about a minute and a half here until we do grid. I do want to mention here that we're going to have... We have about 13 cars are taking time here in practice, but my drivers to watch out for tonight are both, of course, the winner of his heat race and the trophy dash. That is Brendan Chaburko, and really he's the guy I want to win, but not want to win, but that I think will win if I had to bet money on it and if I could bet money on it. But we're going to send it down to the Cactus Cuties. They're on pit road. They're going to sing our national anthem tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh,
Cactus Cuties did a great job tonight, and we're going to send a backtrack side to Jamal Johnson of Ranburne, Alabama. He's got the Gentlemen Start Your Engines.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Rolling off in position number 1 here is going to be Brandon Traburco, the guy that you want to watch for. Won both his heat race and the trophy dash. Starting to his outside is going to be Jason Altman.
And on the second row, there are 25 cars, of course, is Josh Ball. Start to his outside is Shane McKeechin.
I know what you're laughing at there. Brandon Traburco doing a burnout off the start line there. But in row number 3, it's going to be Donnie Gerantino. To his outside, Josh Haynar.
7th is Victor Bartlett, and to his outside, and the number 76 is Frank Musilia III.
Rolling off row number 5, Raymond Evans on the inside. To his outside, Glenn Hedrick.
The 6th row has both Dallas Miracle and Mark Brown.
Rolling off row number 7 to the inside, Terrence Donovan, who apparently did not like the setup too much in the trophy dash. See if he likes it now. And to his outside, Rodney Wolford.
15th is Dana Osborne, and to his outside is Hot Rod Flagg.
Rolling off row number 9 on the inside, Matt Bontempi. I wonder if he's Italian or not. Rolling off to his outside is Hunter Bowles, the almost winner of the B main.
19th to 20th is Doug Moore and David Saunders.
Rolling off in row number 11, Scott Fenstermacher. And to his outside, Gary Tarvin.
23rd, 24th, and 25th positions belong to, in this order, Jimmy Tolliver, Gary Schenk, and Kerry Witt. 25 cars will start this race as the pace car is entering turn 4. Brandon Traburco is going to lead all 25 cars to the green flag. This is a 30-lap race. And of course, in case you are, again, like I said earlier, oblivious to what you are watching, this is the SuperSpeedway.net Cup Series on ETV Live.
If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm sorry. You need to get your eyes checked, or something needs to get checked out, because we've said that about 3 or 4 times now.
That's right. Well, we like to shove it in there.
Yep. Engrave it into your head. As John's going to make the left-hand turn onto pit road, leave the field in the hand of Brandon Traburco and Jason Altman as they're going to come through the tri-oval. Once again, longest pace lap, getting ready to go green here. As now the green flag is going to go up in the air. Brandon Traburco is going to pull off and is going to go right in front of Jason Altman. So obviously these guys had that planed out.
Well, that is his drafting partner right there. So he will pull. Well, that's actually not his drafting partner. They work together for a little bit, but he does pull right in front of Altman's. It looks like it was planned. Of course, they will. The outside line will be the lead line, as of course Josh Ball is being pushed by Donnie Giarratano in the Earnhardt number, and of course to their outside in 4th position is Shane McKeechin being pushed by Josh Hanner.
As these guys are going to fan out 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back to the 10th position here. Is a little bit further back. Donnie Giarratano, actually, sorry, wrong guy. That's actually Dana Osborne got a little bit loose underneath the 7 machine of Rodney Wolford. He got knocked down on the apron in the corner, saved the car, gathered it back up, and they're still racing here.
The first real battle we have going on the track is for the 9th position. It's so far back, but Ramon Evans will have the 9th position as Dallas Miracle and Terrence Donovan are manning the inside line with the 28, being pushed by the 76 and the 21 of Glenn Hedrick. They're trying to make their way right around the outside of them, but that's not working too well.
I guess we can have a Smokey and the Bandit reference right now. We still got a long way to go, but a short time to get there. And these guys are starting to ramp up the racing. They're still 2 by 2, but up front still Brandon Traburco and Jason Altman. They're going to be looking to make a switch here, as now these guys are starting to communicate each other when they need to make the switch and how they need to make the switch without getting run over.
And we do have our first casualty of the race. That is Gary Tarvin in the 17 car. He has wrecked out. And the 13 of Jimmy Tolliver. Jimmy Tolliver is on pit road. So those two will not win this race, barring drastic, events. Up front, it's still Brandon Traburco, Jason Altman, Josh Ball, Victor Bartlett, and Donnie Giarratano, but they do have pressure from Victor Bartlett and Josh Hanner. As you see, Jason Altman go right to the outside as him and Chaburko make the switch. Josh Ball tries to stick it in there. He has no drafting help though, as he had to lead for a split second. We are entering lap 4.
Well, I was about to say he's got the 5 machine of Joshua Haynard going to come up with him as they almost squeeze into each other there, so no harm, no foul there as Jason Haynard is getting a push from Victor Bartlett. They're going to try to make it past that 15 machine of Josh Ball and see if they can set their sights on both Chaburko and Altman, who have been kind of the class of the field through the night.
Donnie Giratano and the 15 of Josh Ball are finally going to hook up together after Josh Ball falls back from about the 3rd position. We are single file 1st through 6th. Altman, Chaburko, Ball, Hanner, Bartlett, and Miracle. Those are the top 6. The other battle we do have going on is Ramon Evans is holding his own on the inside for the battle for 11th. And as I say that, Rod Flagg and Hunter Bowles are making their way around the outside. This is what happens when you don't have drafting help.
Yeah, it always sucks when you have no help here. You go back in a hurry and you're always looking to find a partner. There's 2 guys that got taken out, so we still have an odd number of cars as Ramon Evans is still going to go backwards. He's going to get passed by Shane Mission and also Rodney Wolford as they go motoring by. And also remember last race, Mark Brown, absolutely no help. Well, he's back there and he's still looking for help right now. He's still kind of singled out, so tough night for him.
Coming out of turn 4, the leaders are making their switches. It's about time for that as we are on lap 5. Brandon Chaburko and Jason Altman make their switch. Victor Bartlett and his partner Josh Hanner make their switch. Bartlett on the inside with Hanner, and to the outside is Chaburko and Altman as your leader that time by for lap 5. Leader lap 5 was Brandon Chaburko. And now forcing his way back up there is Josh Ball, and his buddy Donnie Giratano's a little far back. He's facing heat from Glenn Hedrick.
Well, I think that now Glenn Hendrick is going to work on the outside of Girantono and the 48 machine of that would be the Dallas Markle machine, as now Hendrick is going to go back and pick up Frank Brasilia. And so Girantono is going to be kind of caught in no man's land if Glenn Hendrick decides to go around the outside, which he's going to do. He's going to bring Frank Brasilia with him.
Chaburko still going to be your leader this time by, but the real battle is going back here for 6th position. AC Bo. Oh, really, it's actually 8th through 20th. As you see, Rod Flagg, he's forced his way back up there. He's right behind Hunter Bowles, making his way around Donnie Giratano and the 83 of Ramon Evans. And another guy making his way up there is Shane McKeechin. He's now trying to force his way into the top 10, but to his outside is Matt Bontempi, who's come all the way from 16th. This is a real barn burner we got going back here.
Well, it's funny, a couple laps ago is now Ramon Evans and Giratano are going to go around the outside line. Evans had absolutely no help. Now he's found help. He's going to stay down below, and Giratano is going to pick up Matt Bontempi behind him.
Now the battle for the lead. The 73 of Terrence Donovan has taken the lead. He's being pushed by Dallas Miracle. They've made their way right past Jason Altman and Brandon Chaburko. Another pair making a way past him is Victor Bartlett and Josh Hanner. As you see, the leaders make a switch. 48 to the front of Miracle, and as they make the switch, you will see Victor Bartlett and Josh Hanner go right on past them for the lead and 2nd place.
I think that's the farthest Jason Altman and Brandon Chaburko have fallen back all night long. They're back in the 5th and 6th position. Look for them to not waste any time trying to get back up. But a new car that's kind of entered the fray, he doesn't have a friend right now, is the number 29 machine of Hunter Bowles. So he's going to go backwards in a hurry, and he's going to have to go find himself a partner, or at least try to force somebody else off and take their partner as Rod Flagg and Josh Bowles go by them.
Yeah, lucky for Bowles, he's got about 22 laps to get his way back up to the front, so that's a decent amount of time to get your way back up there. But your leader that time by was Victor Bartlett. As you see, Dallas Miracle and Terrence Donovan make their way right back around to 42 and to 5. They will take 1st and 2nd, and also taking 2nd and 3rd, or I'm sorry, 3rd and 4th will be the 51 of Jason Altman and Brandon Chaburko. As you see, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd and 4th are making their switches.
We're going to see who makes the switch better is now Terrence Donovan, just kind of held up Traburco a little bit. Not enough here, as now Altman's back on the back bumper of Traburco. Move Traburco back to the top spot for now. Let's see who's going to lead it at the line. It looks like it's going to be as Haynar got to... that's the 48 of theirs. Marco got a little loose, so now move Traburco and Altman back up to the front because of that little squirrel.
Yeah, Miracles, when he got loose here, that killed any momentum him and Donovan were going to have, and that made Josh Hanner let off the gas and go high. So now you got about a 6-car lead from second place all the way to third, as we have a big group back here for third place. That's, of course, the 73, Terrence Donovan, 48 Miracle, Rod Flagg, who's made his way up to the top 5, Josh Hanner, 15, Josh Ball, Victor Bartlett, and sticking their way in there is Rodney Wofford and Donnie Giovitano. They're back.
As they're starting to make their way up on lap traffic here, that's Gary Tarvin, who was involved in the first wreck here. He's running in the 24th position. He's still a couple seconds ahead, but right now they're clicking off 3 seconds a lap faster than him, as now Terrence Donovan and Miracle are going to go around the outside of both Traburco and Jason Altman, see if they're going to get anywhere, as they're going to stall out just right next to Altman as they go off into 3 and 4.
Nose to nose as we go into 3. We have less than 19.5 laps left to go. Your leader is barely Jason Altman's by about 3 feet. He's being pushed by Brandon Traburco, and to their outside is Terrence Donovan. We are on lap 11. We're going to take a quick break on ATV Live. Please do not leave. You are watching the Super Speedway Cup Series only on ATV Live.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Back at the Talladega Super Speedway, we do have a new leader. It was very quickly. That was Rod Flagg, but Brendan Traburco has made his way back up there. Y'all missed some great action if you weren't listening to us. But of course, we were side by side, so you didn't miss much. We're on lap 15 to 30. We're about to take halfway. Next time by, your top 5 is Jason Altman's, Brendan Traburco, Dallas Miracle, Terrence Donovan, and Josh Hanner.
Tell you what, I'm not sure how they didn't wreck there, especially when Josh Ball got on the apron there, got himself sideways, and I'm surprised he didn't take out the rest of the top 6 with him.
Yeah, I was thinking about interrupting a commercial there. As you see, the switch, the leaders are making a switch. They, I guess they're running too hot. Great switch by Traburco and Altman's, and Miracle and Donovan are barely going to take the lead as the 39 and 51 are going to get back up to speed, and they could possibly keep their lead. Of course, I say that Miracle's going to lead this lap.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that. As now Miracle is going to win that win that lap. And Terrence Donovan's still going to push him, but these guys are going to have to make a switch soon. So now you're going to probably most likely move Traburco and Altman back up to the point as both Bartlett and Hanar are separated.
We are halfway through this.
We're still halfway through this event here as Traburco is still working around the outside of Donovan, as now Donovan's going to get hit by Altman. So that he saved it still. He's going to have to go find a partner, so that's unfortunate for Terrence Donovan. Terrence Donovan is not too happy with that, as now that's going to leave Marco out by himself as Traburco and Rod Flagg are going to go through, or it might look like the, I don't know, Rod Flagg and Matt Bontempi's car and Hunter Bull's car looks all the same. Nope, that is the 20 machine of Matt Bontempi. He's going to move himself to the point with Hunter Bull behind him.
That is our new leader, and of course our was leader, Dallas Miracle, has nobody to drive with. Maybe he's got Josh Ball on his bumper, but Will Ball. But our new leader is Matt Bontempi. He's got Hunter Bowles on his back, who's back up front, and of course guys who are not going anywhere is to their outside, Brandon Traburco and Jason Altmans, as they are pushing for the lead this time by.
Traburco and Altman have basically had the horseshoe stuck in that car tonight. They've been both showing off a lot of speed, been showing. They've both won their heat. Traburco won the trophy dash, as they're going to split it up, and they're going to go 3 wide for a little bit, as now they're all going to file back in line here, move Hunter Bull to the front here. He can't move up in front of Bontempi. Bontempi's going to go back, but look at out on the outside, high, wide, and handsome. Giratono and Wolford are looking to make it 3 wide. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead here, but they're going to get stuck way up on that outside groove, so they're going to go back a little bit, but still battle for the lead between Hunter Bull and Josh Hanar.
This is the kind of brawls you only see at the Super Speedway Cup Series, as you see both Giratono and Wolford pushed away all the way up to the front, and right behind him Glenn Hedrick and the 83 car of Ramon Evans have pushed their way back up. But our leader that time by was Hunter Bowles, but that's only by 0.02 of a second. So Josh Hanner's right there, and as you see, the 7 of Wofford and Giratono and the 3 make their switch. They make a decent switch, not the best switch. And your new leader right now is Josh Hanner, being pushed by the 42 of Victor Bartlett.
Well, I'll tell you what, a little bit further back in the pack in the 10th position, Raymond Evans got super sideways, held on to it, has now lost the draft. He's going to go a bit further back, but his car was completely sideways. I don't know how he hung on to that, or how he didn't put that into the inside or outside wall. So amazing save for him. Back up front, here comes Traburco and Altman underneath of the number 20 machine of Matt Bontempi. These guys are looking to make their way back up to the front again.
11 laps to go, as you see Josh Hanner and the 42 of Victor Bartlett are going to make their switch. Bartlett's going to slide up to the second lane, and of course with that, Jason Allmans and Brandon Traburco are once again going to make their way into the first and second place positions, as the top 5 right now is Josh Hanner, Jason Altmans, Brandon Traburco, and as I said, they make their switch. The 42 of Victor Bartlett, the 5 of Josh Hanner, and the 20 of Matt Bontempi. That's your top 5. As we come up, the 10 to go here at Talladega.
Traburco and Altman have been making clean passes or clean swaps all night long. They're not going to lose that 3rd position. Maybe for just a little bit to Matt Bontempi and Hunter Bull, but they're going to look to make their way back around that outside to see if they can make their way back up to both Victor Bartlett and Josh Hanar.
And your new leader this time by was Victor Bartlett, being pushed by Josh Hanner, but Traburco and Altmans did make their switch, and you cannot forget about Matt Bontempi and Hunter Bowles. How about right behind them for the battle for 7th? Yeah, 7th. Donnie Giratono, Glenn Hedrick, Rodney Wofford, and Dallas Merrick are all switching positions. And the 29! Hunter Bowles got sideways, and he is spinning towards the inside wall. He will not win this race tonight, as now we do have an odd number of cars up here in the pack. The 20 car does not have someone to draft with.
Can you imagine if that was the last lap? Guess who would have won that race again? Brendan Traburco would have won that race. So these guys are just trying to look to battle, and right now I was going to just say Hunter Bowles and Matt Bontempi going from the B main, working their all the way up to the lead pack here, as now Bontempi is going to hook back up with Glenn Hendrick, and I think that means the 48 of Dallas Miracle is going to get, unfortunately, shafted here.
This race has been an absolute brawl, and as I say that, Jason Altmans and his teammate, or draft partner, Brendan Chaburko, make their switch. That could be one of, they should only have about one, maybe two at the max switches left, so they're playing that out for the last couple laps as we come down to lap 23. Lap 23 means we have 8 laps to go as Josh Hanner leads the pack, followed by Victor Bartlett, Glenn Hedrick, Matt Bontempi, and Jason Altmans.
Well, Altman and Chaburko are trying to see if they can get down and get back up into the draft of Matt Bontempi, Glenn Hendrick, Victor Bartlett, and Joshua Haynar as they're going to go flying past Dallas Miracle as he's got no help. Behind Miracle, you got the number 7 of Rodney Wolford and Giratono, but on the outside of Giratono, you got Rod Flegg and Josh Ball. Haven't talked a lot about them last for the little bit as they kind of fell out of contention, but now they're still back up in the lead draft, seeing if they can make something happen on the outside.
Victor Bartlett and the 5 of Josh Henry are all the way back to as your leader this time by with 7 laps to go. There's Glenn Hedrick, followed by Matt Bontempi, and as we say that, again, Jason Altmans and Brandon Chaburko are going to make a switch. They're switching a lot, so they could have another couple switches. I only said 2 last lap, but that was a lap ago when they switched, and it's a lap later and they just switched again. But now in 3rd and 4th is Victor Bartlett and Josh Hanner, and the leaders are going to make a switch. Glenn Hedrick and they get together. The leaders are in the wall. That includes Brandon Chaburko. He's in the wall. 15, 21. 7.
And they're still wrecking here. So unfortunately, the luck for Altman and Chaburko has run out, and your leader, Victor Bartlett and Joshua Haynar, are going to stay in the lead, and they're going to have a huge lead. So unfortunately, it's going to be a 2-car race to the finish here. And the funny thing is, it's your point leader. And I think, Josh is, 3rd or 2nd in points?
You're right. And funny thing, you and I, Kyle, were talking during break, when's the big wreck going to happen? I said lap 23. You said lap 25. We'll take that as a great guess because that happened on lap 24. As we are coming down to lap 26, there are 5 laps to go as Victor Bartlett and Josh Hanner have almost a 3-second lead over Rod Flegg and Scott Fenstermacher. They were back there in 12th and 13th position when this wreck happened.
I think it was closer.
That changed.
Yeah, I think it was closer to lap 25 than 23. I think I get a cookie for guessing it.
The Canadian cookie is worth less than an American cookie.
Well, God, exchange rate. At one time the Canadian cookie was more than the American cookie.
That's what happens in the 51st state. But anyway, Victor Bartlett is still your leader. Josh Hanner and Rod Flegg, they are almost 7 seconds. So this race is now between the drafting partners of Victor Bartlett and Josh Hanner. Once they enter trial and cross the start-finish line, they will be on lap 27. That'll be 4 laps to go left here at Talladega Super Speedway here in Lincoln, Alabama.
Well, this is I guess a little anticlimactic, I guess. You want to see that crazy finish? Well, I guess the crazy finish kind of happened a couple laps before that. But still, Josh Haynar, Victor Bartlett kind of setting it on cruise control. I want to be the person in 2nd at this point.
Now, I think I've tried to keep track of the guys who are in that wreck. That was Josh Ball, Hunter Bowles, David Saunders, Dallas Miracle, Terrence Donovan, Donnie Giratono, Glenn Hedrick, Gary Shank, Rodney Wofford. And Kerry Whip was already a lap down when that happened, but that is a huge wreck going on there as we come to 3 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway.
Well, I guess we don't have to say nothing's changed up front because nothing will change up front until the end of the race. You might have a couple swaps here, but I highly doubt it. I think Victor Bartlett's in the catbird seat. He wants to just stay and ride behind Josh Haynar until the last 300 feet before that start-finish line, pull outside, try to get some side draft going and work around the outside. Or they might even use Josh Ball and Altman behind them as cars that they could use for drafting. So this might still not be over yet, depending on what these lap cars are going to do behind them.
Oh, it's definitely not over yet. So much can happen in these next 2 and really a quarter laps here at Talladega. Victor Bartlett is in the place you really want to be. I'm like, well, he's in second, he's not in first. Well, the decision is yours on where you can go to try to pass Josh Hanner, which of course is his drafting partner. As they come across for lap 29, we have 2 laps left.
Well, if I'm going to make the move, I'm going to make it out of 4, and I'm going to just side draft the crap out of him. And if I door him a couple times, well, it's A-main time. It just, I don't know. It's going to be tough, but like I said, you got Josh Ball and Jason Altman. They've caught up to these guys, so they might still be a factor in how this race is going to finish out, as now Victor Bartlett's disconnected himself very, very far away from Josh Hanar.
Now, don't forget, if you are the leader in points, you're in second place right now, and we're coming up on 1 lap to go. Do you try later than you normally would, because if you wreck, you don't want too many people to pass you, or what was your plan? As, of course, we crossed lap 30, and it's only a 30-lap race. This is the last lap.
Second last lap. Almost there. I don't know. I think you still got to make the move when you got to make the move. As now Josh Ball is going to go around the outside here, as he's going to hit Josh Hanar as they're going to hook up here. So definitely an interesting strategy here. Those guys worked a lot together, as now Jason Altman's going to have to hook up with Victor Bartlett. So this isn't too cool that the lap down cars are kind of getting in the way of this, as they're going to come through onto the front straightaway. This time by, it will be the last lap.
As they come out of turn 4, Altman is pushing Josh Hanner. We're coming up to the checkered flag, and it will be Josh Hanner, your winner, followed by Victor Bartlett, and we're looking back for the battle for third. It's going to be Shane McEachin. 4th place, Doug Moore. 5th place, Rod Flag.
That's unfortunate that Josh Ball kind of affected the outcome there. That's never a good thing to have lap down cars do that, but oh well for that. And I got kind of confused. I was looking at the lap down cars, so my ticker actually was 1 lap behind, so no wonder I was confused on what lap they were at.
It's okay, you'll have that. Remember, our top 10 tonight, we're going to run through that real quick. That's Josh Hanner, your winner, followed by Victor Bartlett, Shane McEachin, Doug Moore, hot Rod Flag in the 23, finished 5th.
Scott Fenstermacher came home 6th place. Dana Osborne came home 7th. Raymond Evans came home 8th. Terrence Donovan, who unfortunately kind of got spun around at the beginning, and while he was in 2nd place, came home 9th. Hunter Bulls, who came home 2nd in your B main, is going to come home 10th in the A main tonight.
We got top 3 up here. I'm talking to Shane McEachin, my boy who's also from Georgia like me. Shane, what a wild race. Tell me what happened in that wreck.
Yeah, luckily, well, I guess not luckily, but at the start we were trying to get things sorted out, who we were going to run with, and ended up getting dropped back a good ways, and I guess that happened to be a good thing tonight. We were far back enough to avoid the danger, and I know in one turn I was in the back of the second, close to 3rd pack, and went from about 15th to I think 5th, and I want to give thanks to Doug Moore. He was able to push me up to a 3rd place finish.
That was a extremely wild race, and I enjoyed watching it. What would you have changed any strategy in this?
Well, sometimes you have, people you like to work with, and trying to get to them and get things worked out, you tend to drop back. They don't always work out, but tonight it did. Was able to bring it home in 3rd.
Is there anybody you want to give thanks to tonight?
Yeah, give thanks to my family and all the guys in the league. I really enjoy racing with them, and look forward to next week.
That is Shane McEachin of Hazelhurst, Georgia, down south. Kyle Peddle's up with our 2nd place finisher, Victor Bartlett.
I've caught up here with Victor Bartlett on pit road. He's got out of this car. Disappointing look on his face. I know he wanted to get that victory, but unfortunately lap down cars kind of dictated the outcome of that race.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking to see that happen, but you know, Josh is a good teammate of mine, and I told him during the race, I said, Josh, I can't give it to you, but I'll try to race you for it, and I'm glad to see him win. I really am. He deserves it. He's been great with working with me, and congrats, Josh.
Still not a bad points day for you. You came in the leader, you finished second, and you're gonna make up ground on a lot of these guys because that huge wreck. When you saw that with about 5 or 6 laps to go, it was kind of going through your head. Besides, let's not be in it.
Well, I could tell it was getting pretty dicey up there. I know we were pulling away from the pack pretty well, and it was, you know, originally 4 of us, and then it got to 6, and then it got to 8, and I knew it was going to be crazy. With the weather the way it was a little bit harder to push. We worked our way back up there, me and Josh did, and during that wreck, I was at the perfect place at the perfect time, and it was just perfect. I couldn't believe it you know, me and Josh got by it, but congrats, Josh, again for the victory. He deserved it.
Well, with being the points leader, sometimes it pays to be lucky. I know you got a couple people that you want to thank.
Yeah, I want to thank Josh. I want to thank my teammates, and I want to thank Rod Flag and ETV.
And now we're going to send it down to Victory Lane. Clint's caught up with your winner, Josh Hanar, as he's climbing out of the car, and I think Clint's getting doused in Gatorade right now.
Yes, and it's delicious. Josh, you've gained a position in the standings now. You're only 14 behind your boy Victor.
Yeah, it feels good. Maybe we can actually chase him down and make a run at this, make it a little closer. I mean, we're kind of letting Victor run away with it here. We can't let him do that.
Yeah, you've only completed 1 less lap than him this season, so it looks like you and maybe Terrence are the guys that are going to bring the heat for him, but what was going through your mind after that wreck? I bet you're like, man, all right, now it's just me and Victor.
Well, I saw it happen, and I thought for sure I was going to be in it because I knew those cars were going to bounce off the wall and get me, and I was lucky enough to make it through. And then when it was just me and Victor, I thought, well, if I can make 1 switch with him, that'll leave enough time where we'll have to switch 1 more time, and I'll be back behind him, and I can do the slingshot at the end. Of course, we made 1 switch, and then Victor decided he was going to stay behind me and slingshot me, and that just going that little slower let the lap cars catch us, and they got kind of involved in the finish. But it was still a good race, and I'm glad I got to win. I would have liked to have done just a 2-car run to the finish, but I'll take a win any way I can get it, man.
Of course, and that is your first win of the season. You've only led, what is that, 30? No, I'm sorry. You've led about 19 laps. So, you know, again, congratulations on your win. Is there anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank Rod for putting on the league. I want to thank my teammates Victor, Jason, and Brandon. And thank you guys for doing the broadcast. It's a blast every week. And thanks again.
That is your winner in the 5-car, Josh Hanar. He is the winner, of course, again, tonight here at Talladega, here in Lincoln, Alabama. Kyle, what a great race we've had.
I don't know what to say. From the heat race to the trophy dash to the A-main, man, that was definitely not a disappointment. Definitely on the edge of your seat. Unfortunately, kind of didn't finish the way that I wanted to finish, with the 4 laps kind of having the whole field get it taken out, but that's just a product of super speedway racing.
It's always a product of super speedway racing. Every race I've been a part of for the Super Speedway Cup Series has been fantastic, and I was not disappointed once again tonight. All the racing is great. For Kyle Peddle, my partner, for Cowboy J.D. Webb, for John Wild Thing Westling, I'm Clint Monahan, and you were watching the Super Speedway Cup Series here on ETV Live. And don't forget, please, do not step on the down power lines.